Welcome to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with intuitive lightworker, national speaker, metaphysical teacher, and best-selling author Lisa Kessler. What is it you want to manifest? Are you looking to increase your income, change careers? Maybe you want to manifest a new home or a new car. Are you ready to bring love into your life? You have come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. So this week, my grandmother would have been 104 years old. She crossed over, when she was 98. So I was told there'd be no math, right? Is that 6 years ago? Time flies. But she was ready to go. She kept telling me I'm past my Best Buy date. But I've been thinking about her a lot because it's her birthday week. And she and I always had this really complicated relationship. And today I wanted to talk about how we can manifest better relationships with family, because I do often have clients who are working to either heal and mend a relationship or bring a relationship back to the table that maybe somebody has, cut themselves off. And so this actually comes up in manifesting quite a bit. And part of the difficulty is that families, while they can be our greatest source of love, right? Love and support and belonging, they are also the people who know how to push our buttons, right? They just know how. And if you're navigating relationships with parents or siblings or adult children or grandparents like my grandmother, sometimes there are connections that have been going on for decades of shared history and emotional patterns. And it can be difficult to navigate that. And what if you're ready for healing and they're not? Right? So I wanted to talk today kind of about different ways you can work to manifest better relationships with your family, because manifesting relationships has nothing to do with changing someone else. It's really about changing the energy that you bring to the relationship, because the bottom line is we cannot manifest for someone else. We can't manifest their choices. Everyone who incarnates comes here to learn lessons, and they came to learn different lessons than we did. So we can't change them. We can't manifest a job for them. We can't manifest a partner for them. And that is one of the hardest truths to accept when it comes to our family, because we love them. We want them to be happy, right? And we can't manifest that they will apologize when they do something to hurt our feelings. We can't make someone communicate differently or heal if they're not ready. Really, the best thing that we can do is worry about our own energy, because it's not about controlling the other people. It's about manifesting from what do I want this relationship to be, not how can I get them to change. And here's where my grandmother comes into this. So my mom was very young when she had me. She was like 17. And I don't know if that's what made my relationship complicated with my grandmother, because, man, I never had teenage rebellion against my mom. My mom and I always got along great. But me and my grandmother could go at it. I've never been quick to anger, but she is someone that could say one flippant remark and boom, I was enraged, right? And she was also a Southern belle, so she was really good at backhanded compliments, telling you, wow, you look so great when you brush your hair. Sometimes my grandfather would have to go, Natalie, be quiet, because she would just dig the hole deeper as she saw the rage on my face. And then she would go, no, I meant that sometimes your hair is messy and today it's not. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I brush my hair every day. So if you have someone in your family like that, just know it happens to all of us. But there is hope. because by the end of her 98 years, she and I were actually really good friends. We had fun every time we hung out, and the relationship really mellowed. And I don't think it had as much to do with her as it did with me. Because when you start figuring out these different family patterns, you start to realize that your family member is just as human as you are. And sometimes those patterns are passed down through generations. I don't know if maybe her mother was a champion of backhanded compliments and she just continued the tradition. But I was able to manifest peace with her because it's not that I was deciding it's okay that she does that. The patterns aren't making her bad. It's something that probably she learned. And I don't know, but being able to see her as a fellow human being and that she's not picking on me, that was an important distinction for me, because sometimes when you are trying to manifest the better relationships and better communication, sometimes it is just that you need to manifest acceptance, right? Because you're not going to change them, and they are still a really good human being. But we have to figure out how we can manifest the healthiest relationship. And a lot of that has to do with respectful boundaries, because healing doesn't always happen when we spend more time together. Sometimes healing is less conflict, more peace, right? And sometimes that comes with you accepting that you need to let them be who they are. Every person is different. So you have to figure out what aligns for you. So I would say the first step is to start with compassion. One of the best things that I came to as I was working on this relationship with my grandmother was, what is she carrying that I can't see? It doesn't excuse hurtful behavior or flippant backhanded compliments, but maybe what she's throwing at me is really something that she's carrying. And it doesn't excuse it, but it helps me to understand it, because we have to remember that everyone is responding to life through the lens of their own experience, right? What if her mom always did that to her? And it's their wounds talking. It really is their own fears, their own wounds, and having compassion for them. It doesn't mean accepting the mistreatment. It means refusing to allow resentment to become your identity. I came to a point where I could just laugh when she did that. And usually when I did, she would recognize what she did and then change course and we could both move on, as opposed to me storming out. And it led to us having this much better relationship. And I'm happy to report that the backhanded compliments really went way down, because I think she became aware she was doing it. So become the energy that you want to experience, right? If you want more kindness, practice that first. If you want more honesty, speak honestly, but with love, right? Think of those things, because really you want to be the energy that you want to receive, because even manifesting relationships with family, it's the same law of attraction, right? What you put out is what comes back, because you're attracting it. So be the vibration that you want to experience, right? If you want a more loving relationship with your kids, start being more loving. That does not mean suffocating them and trying to be with them all the time, but it might be that instead of being hurt because no one's called, you could just leave a message, right? Leave a message. I was just thinking about you. You don't have to call. Just wanted you to know, right? That kind of vibration attracts them right? It attracts them to want to leave you a message. So also, I would say boundaries are super important because they are loving. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not punishment. A healthy boundary, it protects relationships because they make clarity. They allow you to love. They allow your love to really exist without any kind of resentment. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can say is, ooh, that doesn't work for me. Or I need some space, right? This happens with adult children a lot where, oftentimes as a parent of adult children, I feel like I have had life experience that would help them in these things. But when your adult child says, I need to work this out for myself, I honor that boundary. It's not a wall. It's just, I need to let her live her life. And that's okay. And my son too. He's a man of few words. So sometimes I feel like I'm dragging conversation out of him. But when he says, Mom, I gotta go, I totally understand that boundary and I respect it because boundaries are love. And I appreciate that he loves me enough to let me know when he has had enough. So it's all in your perspective, really. So when you think about family, I just want to leave you with this simple idea. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel when I think about this relationship? And I'm going to go back to my grandmother because what I wanted to feel with her was that I am enough, just as I am. Stop trying to change me into something you think I should be, right? So that was all I wanted from her was acceptance that I was good enough as I am. Making me a little choked up now, sorry, but it's honest. And when I think about that's all that I wanted from the relationship, when I could finally conceptualize that is exactly what our relationship became. She stopped nitpicking on all those things and instead would give me a hug and tell me how grateful she was that I took her to the doctor or took care of my grandfather so that she could have a few minutes of peace, right? Or brought her an anniversary cake or whatever. She was always so grateful. And our relationship really changed because when I think about our relationship at the end of her life, it's full of love. And I know that she thought I was amazing, that I didn't have to change a thing. What a blessing. And that was all that I ever really wanted, but I didn't know how to manifest that at that time. So think about that. First, ask yourself, how do I want to feel when I think about this relationship? And think about, do you wish it was peaceful or more understanding or, like me, acceptance? Instead of trying to manifest that specific outcome, manifest that feeling every time you are going to come in contact with that person, right? What is one loving, aligned action that I can bring next time we have an interaction, right? Maybe it's just reaching out. Maybe it's forgiving. Maybe it's having an honest conversation, or maybe, just maybe, it's just releasing. Sometimes we need to release adult children, or like I did with my grandmother, I had to release letting her get under my skin and make me angry. Because when I started to realize maybe this happened to her, maybe it's her baggage she's been carrying around, and I could laugh at it when it happened, our whole relationship started to change. So manifesting better family relationships, it is never going to be about creating some picture perfect TV family, because every single person has their little broken parts and we all do the best we can. So don't try and manifest, some postcard family. It's more about creating peace in your own heart, because what happens is when you change your energy, it changes every interaction that you have with these family members, every single one. And some relationships will heal and deepen, like mine with my grandmother. Some might soften if you have a family member that you butt heads with a lot. Some will teach you lessons. Some will open up and explain maybe what some of those hurts are that you didn't know anything about. But basically, part of your healing journey is you realizing that you can set boundaries with yourself, with other people, and you can understand that the most important relationship that you'll ever nurture is the one that you have with yourself. Because when you change yourself, you bring that energy to the relationship and to every communication that you have. And that, my friends, is how you manifest a peaceful family relationship dynamic. It all starts with you. You are the secret. And I hope that if your spirit guides and angels brought you to this podcast episode, that you have already thought about these different family dynamics and relationships and how you can show up with that energy that you would like to feel, because you are the magic.
Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with Lisa Kessler. If you have questions or comments, or if you'd like to work with Lisa to manifest your dreams, you can connect with her through her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net. That's also where you can claim your free weekly tarot reading and manifesting tips. Make sure you subscribe or follow the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast on your favorite podcasting site so you never miss another episode. As Lisa likes to say, we can make magic when we bring the universe into the equation. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like more information about Lisa, Metaphysical Manifestation Mentorship, or the Manifesting Magic Mastermind, visit her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net.